Hey everyone, Troy Olson, Skidoo Ambassador here. Hey, just want to take a minute to thank all of you for all the questions, comments, the DMs about the MY22 Skidoos, Mach, the XRSs. It's been fun chatting with a lot of you and hopefully helping you out a little bit. So I thought I would throw together a quick video here to address some of the common questions that I am getting and kind of give you maybe a little bit more in-depth answer to some of them other than just via the messages. So first, I'm the little baseline this year. What I'm using as my guy here. So this is my 2021 XRS 900 Turbo, awesome sled. First full year on a 900 Turbo. Always had 800s, 850s, prior to this. So absolutely love it. Bone stock clutching, stock gearing, stock suspension. Just the adjustments on the KYBs. So we're comparing stock to stock here. We're not comparing any type of tune that a lot of people are running out there. So let's address. Let's go after a couple of the big ones. First, 180 horsepower Mach Z compared to this the 150 horse. It's awesome. It's whatever the numbers ultimately end up being. I know that 150 and 180 is what is claimed to be. It feels that much more. I mean, I'll be shocked if anyone's super disappointed coming off a stock 150 and going to the 180 if they're going to be disappointed at all with the performance. It's definitely a big step up. Noticeable if you certainly in the sound as well. You can hear the wastegate, you can hear the turbo a lot more on the new 900R than you can even on the 900T, the 150 horse version. So definitely awesome. Second one, launch mode. Yeah. It's as cool as you think it's going to be. I can't wait to put it do launch mode with a fully studded track. Where we rode them, I would say we were in powderish conditions, and it was still awesome and impressive. So I really can't wait to put that on a 2-ply track, put a bunch of picks in there, and tune that in for a hard pack, lake race, or railroad grade run. So very cool. That'll be awesome. And then the third thing, Smart Shox. Getting a lot of questions about that as expected. Totally new semi-automated shock system on the sleds. And I'm going to combine two questions here. I also get the question 850 versus 900 Turbo. I see the question a lot out on the groups here. So I'll try to address kind of all of them within the same question, because I think the narrative changes a little bit now with at least in my opinion with Smart Shox in there. So when I compare the 850 to the 900 Turbo, the piece that I can feel the difference and where I feel the weight of the sled difference is going into a corner aggressive, and I can really feel that roll to the outside on the corner. And I know the suspension tuners in here are going to jump all over and say, well, you can valve that out. You can make that tweak adjustments and 100% agree. I think that's the big difference between how I have my 900 Turbo set up versus my 850 is that I have my front clickers a little tighter just to balance out that roll and how I like that feel of going into the corners. So, with that being the biggest piece that I feel is the difference between the 850 and 900, now I'm going to throw the Smart Shox into the equation, and why I think it's relative when answering this question now. Once I was done playing with the launch mode, like a kid in a candy store, we finally got to get out on the trails a little bit and get into a rhythm a little bit in the corner to corner, kind of get into the rhythm with the Mach. And I think the first thing I noticed instantly was that, when you're in sport mode or sport plus, it has the anti-roll, in it. And I immediately noticed that not only was, with the Raz X, the cornering is really, really flat, but now the sled is really, really flat. And so when I felt the difference between, the 850 and the 900, where I feel that nose, Smart Shox essentially eliminates that roll when you go into the corners. So answering that question now, what do I feel the difference between the 850 and 900? When you throw Smart Shox into the equation, all of a sudden that piece that I noticed most about the difference in the 850 and the 900 all of a sudden is kind of vanished with the Smart Shox piece in there, because the sled is level, the skis are level with Raz X, and you don't have to trade off with having like a super stiff front end if you really didn't want any roll with a 900 turbo, because you have the options now with the, with the 3 different modes. And so I think that is the biggest piece that like I found super exciting about, is that like all of a sudden I noticed I didn't necessarily feel that nose piece, and I still had the plushness when I didn't want to have that steep, that stiff suspension ride. Another thing that I haven't mentioned on any of the posts that I've done here so far is we were hopping on between the competition edition 600 XRS, the 850 XRS Renegade, Renegade X 900R, and then the Mach, and we're running them through all of the whoop sections and stuff like that. And I don't think it's been stated enough, but when I was hopping on across all these sleds, the new throttle on the 900R, I essentially forgot about the throttle change when I was hopping back and forth in these sleds. And as all of you know that rode the previous versions of the ITC throttle versus the 850, you would notice a difference. But the fact that I didn't even notice it when I was hopping between sleds as we were doing different shoots was incredible, and it was awesome. So I think that speaks to what the calibration is and what the feel is for that throttle. For those of you guys that had that question about what is the new throttle feel compared to the old ITC, which is what's on this one. The only other piece I'll put on with the Smart Shox is like kind of where I feel each level is. When you put it in comfort mode, I think that's the Enduro X ride type, I guess, where I'd say that shock package feels, or where you would put it there. The sport mode being kind of the XRS, what this one is, set up as, and then the Sport Plus just is a tick above that with, really stiffens it up. So I hope this addresses a lot of those questions. I know there's been a lot, a few more out there, but these are the big ones that I've got hit up with. And keep the questions coming. Hit me up in my DMs, hit me up in messages on Facebook or Instagram. And if I get a bunch of the same questions, I'll post another video like this, kind of going after them, so you guys can all see the same answer and maybe a little bit more detailed than necessarily just typing. So take a look, follow me on my Instagram, Facebook page for more stuff, and stay safe, stay to the right, and hope to see you guys out on the trail soon. Talk to you later.